Okay. So I think just lastly then, we talked a lot about food, what's good food, but then there's also an issue of food waste, which is also problematic. So we're spending all this time, effort, water, energy producing this food, but then apparently a third of it does not even ends up in landfills or ends up not being consumed. Um, I don't know why do you think this is, and what is it that we can do to sort of put a lid on this problem?
So in South Africa, yes, our best guess is that about a third of food is wasted, and the data seems to indicate that most of that food is wasted on farm or at processing. Less so, I think, elsewhere in more developed economies, there's a higher degree of waste at the consumer side of the value chain.
Mm-hmm.
In South Africa, it's often got to do with the vagaries of the market. So either farmers have planted with the understanding that they have a buyer, or they've overplanted, and then it simply becomes too expensive to get that produce off farm and to the fresh produce market, for instance. South Africa still has a system where farmers can sell to a large fresh produce market that then sells on to other buyers, retailers, households. It's a pretty diverse environment, those food markets. So a lot of it just lands up rotting in the sun because farmers live a very marginal existence, and the cost of a potential buyer, but not guaranteed, makes it just not viable for them to ship that food. It could also be that it was rejected by retailers. I mean, and that has been an opportunity for us to engage, to simply get retailers to really be much more hands-on in terms of what they're asking of the farmer and what they're selling at the store. At a processing level, it seems to be also a lot of it's got to do with cosmetic requirements. So in the slice and dice process, they peel butternuts 2 or 3 levels in so that you get a very even orange when you buy your pre-sliced butternut.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes, when you buy
Oh.
look, it's going to be all an even orange, and in order to achieve that, you've got to peel quite a few layers off of completely edible butternut.
So convenience also comes at a cost. I did not, because sometimes you just think, saving time, but I had no idea that that's what, oh gosh, okay. So we're going back to chopping and peeling everything ourselves.
Convenience and cosmetics.
Yeah, wow, okay.
And there's a flip side to this. We're also very careful not to support the sort of ugly food campaigns and things like that, because often those oddities or deformities in fruits and vegetables come from poor fertilizer use, planting in too compact an area, pollination at the wrong time. So there's a careful balance that you have to achieve between retailers not rejecting something because it's got sunburn or hail damage, but also not accepting something that's a result of a poor farming practice, or something being farmed in an area where the environment actually is just hostile to that particular fruit or vegetable. So there is a level of sophistication that's required in understanding what specifications, cosmetic specifications should be, which don't incentivize poor farming practices.